Hello friends, welcome to my channel, Recap Stories. Today, we are going to discuss a movie that begins with a girl named Allie, who works at a sports management company. Allie is a sports agent, and her job involves managing athletes. Her close friend is Brian, and they both work at the same company. Allie is passionate about her work and is always enthusiastic about her hard work. One day, while she is busy in the office, an attractive guy passes by, catching Brian's attention. Later, by coincidence, the same guy gets into the elevator with Allie and Brian. Allie immediately shows interest in him, but the guy ignores her. Brian also tries, but he doesn't get any response either. Allie doesn't let this affect her, as the most important thing for her that day is the promotion at the company. Allie is confident that she will get the promotion since she is the hardest working employee in the company. During the meeting, the boss, holding a championship ball, praises the employees and says that the ball will go to the one who deserves the promotion. Allie becomes sure that the ball is for her, and when the boss throws the ball towards her, she catches it instantly. However, the boss says, "Wow, Allie. That was an amazing catch, but give the ball to Itty because he deserves the promotion." Hearing this, Allie is deeply disappointed, and after the meeting, she goes to the boss to complain. She says that giving the promotion to Itty is unfair, as she is the most deserving. Allie also mentions that the company does not allow women to progress, which has been proven because she is the only woman in her department. The boss explains, although you are excellent in your skills, the majority of the athletes are male, and your relationship with them is not particularly good, so you might face challenges in this role. Moreover, Itty recently signed a big athlete, which is the main reason for his promotion. After not receiving the promotion, Allie becomes upset and angry, scolding all the employees in her office, declaring, "You will all see, soon I will sign Jamal Wary." To calm herself, she goes to her father. Allie's father was a boxing trainer, and while boxing with him, she expresses her frustration. She says, "Dad, this world is hard for women. Everywhere, men are given preference. How can I prove myself equal to them, or even more capable?" Her father reassures her and says, "Daughter, stay true to your promise and prove yourself. If you said you would sign Jamal Wary, just go ahead and do it, and shut everyone's mouths." Inspired by her father's words, Allie gains courage and goes to a bar with him. There, she notices a new, attractive bartender named Phil. Allie tells her father, "Dad, you go ahead, I will stay here for a little while longer." She approaches Phil and begins to flirt with him. As the conversation progresses, Allie ends up going to Phil's house with him. They get closer, with Allie becoming more dominant during their interaction. Later, Allie falls asleep, but Phil finds the whole situation unusual. He wonders, "Am I the man here, or is this man the real man?" The next morning, Allie wakes up and sees a child wearing her underwear as a mask. She wakes up Phil and asks, "Who is this?" Phil explains, "This is my son Ben, who stayed over at a friend's house last night. I didn't know he would return so early." Allie quickly gets dressed and notices several pictures of Phil with his wife hanging in the house. Seeing this, Allie becomes very angry. She thinks, "This Phil is already married, and because of him, not only did I get late for the office for the first time, but I couldn't even form a connection with him. If his wife had come in place of Ben, what would have happened to my dignity?" Anyway, Allie somehow manages to reach her office, where her assistant delivers an important message. One day, Allie discovers that there's a protection device stuck to her bag. She immediately tells her assistant Ibrahim, "Please, remove it." Ibrahim responds, "All right, I'll remove it, but this time, increase my increment." Allie immediately agrees, and Ibrahim grabs the protection cloth and slips it into his pocket. Meanwhile, Allie learns that a colleague, Cabin, wants to remove Lisa from the cover page of a magazine and replace her with Jamal. Jamal is a new player, but he has a massive following on social media, and the NBA has chosen him. Additionally, Jamal's father is also his manager. Allie thinks that she will sign Jamal and get both Jamal and Lisa placed together on the cover page. But when Lisa finds out, she objects. She says, "I've won several championships and 4 gold medals. Jamal is new. Ali agrees with Lisa and believes that Lisa deserves the center position. This decision doesn't sit well with Jamal's father, and he leaves the party with his son. On the other hand, Ali's friends, Kyra and Olia, are married, and their third friend, Mary, is also about to get married. Ali, who has no boyfriend, often faces criticism. Olia, who is quite spiritual, hires a psychic, spiritual advisor to predict the future of Mary and James. Ali doesn't believe in such things, but she decides to take the psychic's test. As soon as the psychic sees Ali, she pulls out a tarot card and says, "You face difficulties at work because you don't get along with your male colleagues." Ali suspects that her friends might have already informed the psychic about her situation. But when the psychic mentions Ali and Will's affair, Ali is taken aback. The psychic says, "You don't know how to build relationships with men. I can help you. Drink this herbal tea, it will take away your worries." Ali takes a sip of the tea, but it tastes so awful that she ends up throwing up. Somehow, the psychic manages to make Ali finish the whole cup. Seeing this, Ali's friends leave because they don't want to ruin their night. Later, Ali goes to dance with her friends. While having fun, she falls and hits her head, causing her to lose consciousness. The next morning, Ali wakes up in the hospital. A doctor is examining her, thinking to himself, and Ali overhears him. Ali says, "Doctor, how can you be drunk at work?" The doctor is surprised and wonders, "Did I say all that out loud?" Embarrassed, the doctor quietly walks away. Later, Brian takes Ali from the hospital to the office. On the way, Ali says, "The doctor told me I can't drive. My license has also expired." Brian thinks to himself, "Well, since your head is injured today, I'll drive. At least today, I won't have to pull protection from your bag." Ali overhears this thought as well, and the two drive in silence to the office. Ali tells Brian, "No need to be too honest, okay?" Brian replies, "No, I didn't say anything wrong." But in his heart, he thinks, "I wish I could say everything I want to say." Ali can hear these thoughts clearly. Brian becomes confused, thinking how Ali can hear his inner thoughts. Ali says, "Yes, I can hear everything, and your life is really in trouble now." On the way, Ali gets increasingly confused by Brian's thoughts and asks him to stop the car. She decides to walk, but little does she know that the road will be crowded with people during rush hour. Every person's thoughts on the street begin to echo in her mind. One is complaining about his wife, another is worrying about debts, and yet another is contemplating his extramarital affairs. Hearing all of this causes Ali to become mentally distressed. She rushes to her office and locks herself in her cabin, covering her ears. Brian tells Ali, "I'll get you an appointment with a psychologist." But Ali responds, "I don't like chasing after doctors." She thinks to herself that she can only hear the thoughts of men and homosexuals, but not women. Ali recalls that last night, she had drunk a special tea from a psychic, which was meant to help her understand men better. Brian immediately takes Ali to see the psychic. Ali explains her problem, and the psychic tells her, "This is not your issue, but a strength. With this power, you can understand your male colleagues and rise above them." This revelation opens Ali's mind. She decides to make use of her new superpower. The next day, Ali arranges a meeting at the office under the pretense of wanting to learn more about Jamal and his father. She even attends a party at her boss's house, where her superpower helps her turn the tables on people's manipulations, successfully handling her business. On her way home, she runs into her handsome neighbor in the elevator. Using her superpower, Ali realizes that he likes her but is too shy to express it. She gives him a kiss, and he picks her up and takes her to his apartment. However, neither of them is in a position to get close, so Ali goes for a shower and comes back. But when she looks around, she realizes that her neighbor has some unusual desires that she could never fulfill, and she quickly leaves. The next day, Ali shows Jamal and his father a music video to persuade them for her plan, which highlights Jamal in a positive light. But Ali can hear Jamal's true feelings. The video looks like something from a 90s rap music video, with edited scenes of girls, alcohol, and money. Jamal's father disapproves of it because anyone involved in substance abuse and irresponsibility can never become a top athlete. They had always been careful about Jamal's healthy diet, and this video could harm his image. Ali tells her boss that the video shouldn't move forward. Instead, they need to create a better one for Jamal's promotion. Hearing this, Jamal's father becomes worried, and in their conversation, he expresses his concern, saying, "I never wanted to entrust my son's future to a female agent, but after meeting you, my views have changed. You see, I'm a family man, and I believe Jamal's agent should be someone who understands responsibility." Ali then notices Will, who arrives with his son Ben, and she says, "I'm also a family woman, look, my family has come to see me." She then invites Will and his sister to her office and talks to them as if they are genuinely part of her family. This helps Ali gain even more trust from Jamal's father. After their departure, Ali asks, "How did you two get here?" Ben's sister replies, "You left your driving license at our house the other day, and I found it. We came to return it." She continues, "I also need to talk to you. You were so angry with my father that day. After my mother's passing, my father has been so lonely. You should treat him better." Will immediately hushes his son, saying, "Son, you shouldn't have said that," but Ali had already heard it. Ali begins to feel sympathy for Will, realizing how mistaken she had been thinking that he was cheating on his wife. But in reality, his wife had passed away. Ali then invites Will and his sister to join her for a game of hockey on Sunday. Jamal and his father also attend. During the game, Ben's sister mentions, "Next week is my birthday." In front of Jamal's father, Ali promises Ben, "I'll bring a sports car-shaped cake for you." Ben becomes very happy and wins her over. Before leaving, Will invites Ali for a date the following night, and she agrees, though she has no real intention of going. Then, Ali introduces Jamal to a famous ex-athlete, who used to be a great player. Jamal gets nervous upon meeting him, and the athlete, noticing Jamal's anxiety, reassures him and offers him some guidance. This meeting becomes an inspiration for Jamal. The next day, Will messages Ali, asking about their date for the night. Ali's assistant, Brian, replies that, "Yes, why not? I plan to bring my friend Mari and her manager, Chams, for a double date." However, Ali stops Brian from sending this message, saying, "I'm too busy, I can't make it for the date." Ali ends up going to a pool club with her friends, where she overhears a conversation that unsettles her. James, one of the men with her, starts making inappropriate thoughts about a female worker there, imagining that if he marries Mari, he'll bring the girl into the relationship and deceive Mari. Upon hearing this, Ali becomes furious and intentionally injures James with a pool stick, though she pretends it was an accident. She then praises his skills, to which James simply responds with a, "Thank you." Ali teases him, saying, "Wow, the girls are liking your moves." James thinks to himself, "You are with me, so why would I need to think about another girl?" Seeing this, Ali realizes that James truly likes her. Later, Ali takes Will to her house, and once again, she dominates, which increases Will's doubts. After that, a beautiful physical connection forms between them, which feels very pleasant. The next day, Ali introduces Will and Ben to her father. When Ali's father finds out that Will doesn't do any special work, he thinks to himself, "This person will soon be out of my daughter's life," but Ali convinces him by telling him about Will's qualities. In the next scene, Ali finds out that a boy from her office, Danny, is also gay and likes Ben. Ali introduces them, and they both become happy. Now, Ali and her office colleagues see something in the news that shakes the ground beneath them. In the media, Jamal's father says that he will send his son to China to play, where the government is offering him good money. This situation worsens Ali's work because Jamal's signing with the company was crucial. Now, Ali starts to get blamed for her mistakes, and Will becomes angry with her. Will tells her, "The happy family act you and Ali were showing is completely ruined now." Ali tries to explain that, "This was not an act, I really like you," but Will refuses to listen. He breaks up with her and leaves, and Ali feels broken. Afterward, Ali goes back to Psyche and says, I want to return this power, because everything that happened to me has been ruined. Psyche says, with power comes responsibility, and you are not handling it properly, that's why you don't like this power. Allie understands Psyche's words. Now, Allie attends the wedding of her friends Mari and James, where she hears the inner voices of men's hearts, and most of the men have inappropriate thoughts. On his wedding day, James is also thinking, last year, what I did with Mari was memorable. He starts reading a romantic note for his future wife Mari. Allie tells everyone, I have something to say. Hearing this, everyone is startled. Allie then boldly says, I have a special ability that allows me to hear the thoughts of men's hearts. Upon hearing this, Allie's assistant, Brain, stands up and says, Allie, I would ask you to come and sit quietly here. But Allie, in an Ibrahim-style manner, says, no, you're not my friend but my assistant, so don't interfere in my work. During this, Brain doesn't know that Allie has drunk alcohol and is not in her senses, which deeply bothers him. Allie continues and says, because of my special gift, I found out that James is not worthy of my friend Mari. He has done everything with Mary's cousin, and now after marriage, he is planning to sleep with many girls. James immediately denies it, no, that's not true. Then he stands up and starts to leave, saying, forgive me, Mari, James had deceived me. He said he would break up with you soon and marry me. This makes Mari extremely angry, and she slaps James hard. At this, Kara, who is Allie's friend, says, what have you done? Allie replies, there are already fights happening in your house. Kara says, no, nothing like that, everything is fine between my husband and me, and your relationship must not be going well. Allie responds, no, that's not true. Your husband is not sleeping with any girl, he's having a physical relationship with his golf-playing friend Louis. Hearing this, Kyra's husband makes a rude remark about Louis, which makes Louis admit that he is indeed sleeping with Kyra's husband. After this, Kara runs to the church to hit her husband, and upon seeing this, Kyra's sister-in-law starts fighting with her sister-in-law to protect her brother. A fight breaks out in the church, and during this, Allie gets a strong blow to her head. The next day, Allie wakes up in the hospital. The doctor tells Allie, after what you said, I have been able to rid myself of my inner turmoil. Allie notices that she is now deprived of her special power to hear the thoughts of men. She feels a sense of peace that she has been freed from this power. Later, the doctor discharges Allie from the hospital, but this time, neither her friends nor her assistant came to pick her up. Allie feels very lonely. She then goes to her father and shares her feelings. I have always wanted to be a strong and independent woman, but in the process, I forgot to build strong relationships with people. My relationships have become so weak that even small things upset everyone, and no one came to visit me in the hospital. Allie's father says, my child, it's not too late, you can still fix everything in your life. After hearing her father's words, Allie first goes to her assistant, Brain, and tells him, I no longer have the power to hear people's thoughts, but I want to tell you that you have all the qualities to be an agent. I have always criticized you because I needed you, and I knew you were the best assistant for me. You are not just my friend, but my true partner. Brain cannot believe that Allie is apologizing to someone. Later, Allie takes Chinese food to Jamal, who is playing basketball. Allie plays basketball with him and explains that Jamal doesn't want money, but wants to celebrate his victories with his people. Allie tells him, stop listening to your mind, listen to your heart. Then she goes to her girlfriends, who turn their faces away from her as soon as they see her and refuse to talk to her. Allie approaches them and says, I truly love all three of you, and it's not because I am jealous of your relationship or marriage. I want what's best for you, and I don't want any man to take advantage of you. The three friends say, okay, that's true, but it's also true that you didn't tell us about your power, even though we could have helped you. Allie sincerely apologizes to them and promises to share everything about her life with them. After this, Allie gives her friends a small gift, and they all forgive her. In the next scene, Allie attends an important NBA event with Jamal and his father, where she proves that Jamal plans to play for the US in the future. Jamal makes Allie his agent, and after that, he gives her the championship ball and promotes her. However, Allie refuses the promotion because she now wants to start her own talent management company. She refuses to work at a company that devalues women compared to men. Along with her company, Allie also makes one of her college friends an agent. Later, Allie attends Ben's birthday party in a sports car. While Ben is happy to see the cake, Will is not happy to see Allie. Allie explains the whole situation to him and asks for another chance, which Will grants because he truly loves her. This is how Allie and Will's love story begins. Now, Allie, Will, and Ben go to the park together, and their bond strengthens. I would love to know how you like the story. Please comment below. I kindly request you to help my channel reach 10,000 subscribers soon. We hope you enjoy this video and like it. Please subscribe to our channel. Thank you for your heartfelt comments. See you in the next video.